There's been some pretty insane moments over the years that parkour has been around.
So in today's video, we're going to go through some of the greatest moments in the history of parkour. Let's go.
Three, two, one.
Okay, so the first on this list has to go to the absolute freak of nature that is Dom Tomato. With his mind-bending front flip down the Leon 25 stair set. Leon 25 was first ever done by a skateboarder called Jaws. He ollied down this 25 stair set, which became the biggest stair set ever done in the history of skateboarding. The thing I think I love the most about it is the fact that Dom, leading up to doing this front flip, really didn't seem that fussed about it.
This angle makes it look scary.
Yeah.
This angle makes it look safe.
I'd say high 90s, like 95% chance that I'm gonna do it.
There's a video of him on the train talking about it, and he genuinely seems unfazed. So he arrives at Leon 25 and he looks at the stair set, and pretty much straight away he's like, yeah, it's on. I'm definitely doing it.
It's fucking, yeah, it's fucking on.
And in the most Dom Tomato fashion ever, he looked at it once and just did it instantly.
3, 2, 1.
No hesitation, he just sent it. As soon as he landed, he felt something in his heel go. He thought he'd broken it. He went to the hospital and later found out it was just a really bad bruise.
Yeah, looks normal.
I've never seen a bruise look quite that bad. And this isn't Dom's most impressive front. It's not his biggest by any means. But what makes it so iconic is the fact that he took something that was massive in the sport of skateboarding and scooter riding, and then just came along and did a front flip down it. Before we get into the next one, I want to give a massive shout out to today's video sponsor, Vipe Ramen. Normally when I do these shout outs, I tell you all about the health benefits of Vipe Ramen, but they've just released their Szechuan Chili Edition. Being someone who's quite adverse to spice, I'm really not looking forward to this.
Vipe ramen come in a whole range of different flavours, so you don't have to just get the spicy ones.
Oh god.
They take only 3 minutes to cook and they are jam-packed with tons of nutritional value, with 25% of your daily values for your vitamins and minerals, and up to 31 grams of protein in a pack.
Oh god. It's like done something in my nose. Oh, it's done the nose attack again. I challenge any one of you to try and finish one of those.
Use the code JimmyTheGiantUK to get 10% off. Anyway, back to the video.
This time it just didn't work out. Chase 15, United evading.
Alright, so the next on this list is the first moment from a parkour competition.
For the title, Karel Kortmuller. He's earned himself some space. Round the front line he goes. Under the ridge. Seth Wang hunting him down. Over the mountain. Karel Kortmuller, an enormous jump. Slips, but he's still clear. Surely this could be it. The title's in his hands. Can he claim the evasion? Over the mountain. And there it is. Unbelievable.
And that is Karel winning the final of World Chase Tag 4 in the match of GNF versus United. Competitions in parkour have never truly taken off until World Chase Tag. And World Chase Tag itself is this young sport that's still growing and developing. Prior to this moment, it never felt like there had been an iconic moment in World Chase Tag. It didn't have one of those legendary sporting moments. That was, of course, until Karel came along and won the final for United. So to give you some context, this was the last chase of the match. The match up until this point had been pretty boring. It was 0-0. No one had got any evasion.
E-ball to stay low, but he's tagged there.
But what that had done is just massively ramp up the pressure for this last chase. Karel could win it in this point. If he got an evasion, he would win it for United. So this chase is happening, right? And every other chase prior to it had been over in about 12 seconds. This final chase, and something started to happen. As the chase got into its 12th, 13th second, the energy of the room changed.
For the mountain, Karel Kortmuller, an enormous jump. Slips, but he's still clear.
People knew something was about to happen.
Surely this could be it. The title's in his hands. Can he claim the evasion?
You could hear it in the commentators. Dan could sense something was happening. The tension was building in his voice. And then Karel did the running precision from the top of the mountain to the tilted cube. This jump had never been done before, particularly not in competition. To do something like that risky at such a vital point in the game, and then pull it off and then get an evasion, this sent the whole place nuts.
Glorious run. The whole stadium here has gone mental.
Everyone in the audience got up to their feet. All of United come running on, hugging Karel. And my God, man, it was just a moment. To see the happiness in his face and that perfect slow-mo clip that gets them all hugging and celebrating. It was an incredible moment in the sport.
Tag.
Incredible final, incredible tournament.
Okay, so next on this list comes from an absolute OG in the world of parkour. And that is Phil Doyle with his Kong arm jump to window ledge.
Phil, how are you getting back? did the 180 go on? Oh.
Right, so this was the very last clip in a truly iconic parkour video called Professor Longhair Big Chief. This video was massive, like it was one of the first truly viral parkour videos. And right at the end of this video, filled with incredible parkour, the music cuts and Phil is just stranded, hanging on for dear life to this window ledge. And you see him look back to Kai and basically say, how am I gonna get down?
How are you getting back?
And then the video just ends. It leaves you hanging. You have no idea how Phil gets down. So every single comment, even to this day, are basically people trying to work out how Phil got down. He basically had three options. He could either take the drop, do the 180 arm jump back, or maybe climb through the window if the window was open. This clip was from all the way back in 2010, and it wasn't until 10 years later did Phil tell the world how he actually got down. So the answer to this mystery that has had parkour theologians debating for years is Phil simply... Oh. Next on this list comes from the pretty elusive world of China, with the Skyladder parkour course.
Due to the internet censorship over in China, very few people in the West are even aware that China has a parkour community.
So it came as a massive shock when in 2017, this energy drink company called Carabao funded this monumental parkour course, like the biggest one that's ever been made ever. This thing was 999 steps tall. It was literally 3 football fields of distance. And it ascended up the Tianmen mountain in China. It was kind of breathtaking to see something that big. The company Carabao, or however you say it, are a clear rip-off of Red Bull, and they were trying to do what Red Bull does, which is invest an insane sum of money into putting on some spectacle event. And it certainly was a spectacle. This was the same course that Dom Tomato managed to fall off right at the end of his run and slam on his face. Despite a few breaks and bruises, he was fine in the long run. Fun fact, Dom actually helped design the course, and that was probably why most of the course involved loads of height drops. Next on this list is Kai Willis's Kong Prix at IMAX. Now this Kong Prix was a clip from a Kai Willis video back in 2013. The whole video is filled with a ton of world firsts. But there's something about the Kong Prix that just beat all the other clips. The Kong Prix at IMAX had not only never been done before, but honestly I don't think anyone had even thought about doing it. It's just such a ridiculous drop. Like, it's 1.5 stories tall, I think, over a big drop, and you gotta be super accurate with your landing. There's honestly no working up to a jump like that. You just have to know your abilities. And for Kai to do that in 2013, which is now 8 years ago, it just really shows how far ahead of the curve Kai Willis was in his movement. And even to this day, that Kong Prix has only been done by a handful of people. I remember when that video came out and the amount of things that he had done in that video that no one had seen done before. Every single athlete, myself included, wanted to move like Kai. They bought the same trackies as him. They started to do that thing where you really extend your foot out when you're doing a running Prix. And all in all, this Kong Prix just really raised the bar for the sport. Comment below if you want me to make a video on IMAX. There's so many things that have been done there now that I really think I could make a whole video on. Right, so next on this list comes from the American athlete, Nate Weston.
Yeah, dude.
Freerunners love taking famous jumps or famous gaps from different sports and then just leveling them up. So like Leon 25, this gap was first done on a skateboard. It was done in 1997 by a skateboarder called Jeremy Ray. He became the first person to ollie that gap. Doing the ollie aside, the thing I'm more impressed with was the fact that he running Pre'd that.
And running and jumping it back was way worse in my mind than ollieing it.
Like, bearing in mind, this guy isn't a free runner, and somehow he running precisioned a jump that was probably 12 or 13 foot long at height. Like, honestly, I couldn't say comfortably right now that I would ever attempt that jump. It's always stood out to me how mind-blowing it was, the fact that he just did the jump on his feet. Yet alone a skateboard, but just literally the running jump. But I mean, look, that was 24 years ago now. The level of parkour has significantly increased. So much like Dom, Nate had to level this thing up. So what he ended up doing was doing the side flip over the gap and then siding again once he landed. which in and of itself is a very impressive movement. It's probably not the hardest thing Nate has ever done, but it was the fact that he did it over this iconic gap that hadn't been done in 24 years. But I mean, come on man, I have to shout out Jeremy Ray for just doing the run in precision. I still can't get over that. Next on this list is the, I can't actually say the word because YouTube will demonetize me, but it's the, how do I get around this? It rhymes with poo-aside wall run. The poo-aside wall run is in Brighton and it's right near Brighton Pier. This wall run has become synonymous with parkour in Brighton. The wall run was first done in 2007 by an athlete and just all-round mad guy called Chris Brooks. The first video we have of him doing it was in 2007. He didn't totally make it, he kind of landed on the last few steps, but still this was the first video that I could find of anyone doing it, and I'm pretty sure he was the first. Clips of people doing this wall run have always been super popular on the internet. I've seen GIFs of them shared on Reddit and things like that. I think what it was is, because it's kind of like Prince of Persia in real life. A setup like that, where you have a wall run that's going to take you across a whole flight of stairs, is so rare to find. Like, honestly, I've never seen a spot like that in my life. Like, the only thing I can think is remotely similar is all the way over in Mexico, where Stora made a whole video of them doing that wall run. There's just something so video game-like, seeing someone clear a gap by running over a wall. Since Chris first did it, I remember seeing Teghead do it quite a lot in his videos, and now loads of athletes have done it, but it is still considered quite a hard challenge. And an even harder challenge that has spawned out of it is doing it the other way to the rail.
Now I've gassed Jaden up and he's gonna look at it.
Next up is another clip from Dom Tomato. I'm telling you, this whole video could have just been Dom Tomato. But this one wasn't just Dom, it was also Jaden. And this was the insane flip precision that they did in London. Dom made a whole vlog of them working up to this, and in that video you can see Jaden was telling everyone he thought it was doable, and no one believed him.
I've been saying from day, this is a thing. No one believes me.
And that's because it's a stupid jump. It's ridiculously big, like even just to land on your feet, it's a massive jump. So to then go even further and level it up as doing a flip precision, it just makes no sense. This happened back in 2017, so pretty much 4 years ago now. And I'd go out on a whim here and say, I think that that is the biggest flip precision ever done. The amount of not only power, but accuracy and technique you need to be able to land on that wall at such a distance with such speed is just next level. And I remember the time that this clip came out and just how amazed the whole community was, because it happened in a time where Dom was starting to just truly show the world who he was. And when he posted this clip, it was like, oh my God, like what are the limits of what people can do? I even seem to remember some people not being happy with him because of how ridiculously reckless this jump was. Like, he literally bailed the first one, and it didn't look like he was totally in control even when he did do it. But I mean, a lot of time has passed now, and Dom still does things of this caliber nearly daily, and he's still going stronger than ever. Hats off to Dom. Next on this list is something a little bit different, and that is the Roof Culture Asia film premiere in London. So this one isn't a jump or a gap, but rather an iconic moment for the community of parkour. So to paint a picture here, this would have happened sometime around 2017, maybe 2016, before Stora had released their pivotal film called Roof Culture Asia. I don't know for a fact how big Stora were back then, but they were nowhere near as big as they were, and this film, Roof Culture Asia, would go on to be the thing that put them on the map. But between the time of them announcing this film was in the works and them actually releasing it, Stora had hyped this thing up beyond belief. They'd been all around America showing their film. The reviews were mad, like everyone was saying this was the best thing that's ever happened to parkour. So they booked out this cinema in London, and probably about 200 plus freerunners were packed into this room. The film starts, and if you've seen it, you obviously know, it was this amazing adventure of a group of friends battling to conquer these game-changing gaps done all across Asian rooftops. And my God, man, I just remember the atmosphere. Like, it was so amazing to be there. Whoa. Every time an insane jump happened, everyone would go crazy and start cheering.
Over 500 people turned up, making it the best night of 2017.
I actually just remembered I have something really cool I can show you from the Roof Culture Asia premiere. we have this. So this is a ticket from the Roof Culture Asia London premiere. These are super rare. Like, there's probably 100, maybe 200 people that have one of these on Earth. And very luckily, I am one of those people. Finally, I'm gonna end it on an absolute banger. This clip comes from Toby Sager with his double Kong in the video We Are Stora. This clip is ridiculous. This is probably the biggest double Kong ever done to date. And not only is it just physically massive, it has a load of risk and consequence to it. If Toby didn't make this double Kong, it would have hurt a lot. Prior to Toby actually doing this gap had only ever been Kong arm jumped. And when people were doing that, it looked massive. The Kong arm jump itself is nothing to be scoffed at. But you see, Toby isn't like normal people. There is something in Toby's body that allows him to propel himself in a way that no one else can. What's kind of more crazy is the fact that to warm up for this, Toby did the Kong Precision, which potentially is one of the biggest Kong Precisions ever done as well. Don't quote me on that because I'm not certain, but it was definitely one of the biggest. Funnily enough, it was from him overpowering that Kong Precision that made him think he could probably double it. Stora have a video called something like Top 10 Stora Wins, where Toby explains the whole story behind that jump, so definitely go and check that out. Funnily enough, people thought this jump was fake. Like, when it was posted on Reddit, there was loads of people convinced that this had ropes or some fans blowing him up in the air, or it was just CGI or something. They couldn't believe that this really happened. But it did, and that's why it's on this list. Comment below what you think is the greatest moment in parkour history. I know I've missed loads, and I might make a part 2 to this video. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, you can massively help support the future of this channel if you go and buy a parkour bucket list, or use my affiliate code on the Vite Ramen website. Peace.